So here we have yeast, all-purpose flour, honey, sugar, and salt.
So the supplies that we're going to need is something to mix with. We're going to use this spoon, a bowl to mix everything in. We need the tray to bake stuff on, parchment paper to lay on the tray, and the flour. We need more flour to salt the counters from. We have to knead the dough later. So now we're going to add our flour into the bowl. We're going to need 4 cups of it, so I have 2 already laid out, and then I can just put on the next 2 cups. So now we're going to add the next 2 cups of flour, and we have 4 cups in the bowl. Next, I'm going to add the yeast, and then we have to stir it in with the rest of the flour. Now we're going to cover the bowl in plastic wrap and wait for it to rise. It should take about 2 hours. So then the next step would be to add 3 cups of flour into the sponge mixture that we made. But before that, we're going to add in the remaining yeast, which is going to be right there, and also the salt. And then after we add the 3 cups of flour, the yeast, and the salt, we're going to add another 3/4 cup of flour slowly after we add in all of the honey, which we're replacing barley malt syrup with honey for this because I couldn't find it at the store. But we have to wait for the sponge to rise first.
Bagel comes from the Yiddish word begel, which means carb. Bagels are Jewish in origin. Bagels are the only bread that you first boil, then bake. Bagels were brought to the US by Polish Jews. Bagels have holes in them because you put a stick through the holes to transport them.
So next, we're going to take our parchment paper, we're going to lay it out over both of the pans. So now that we have them all stacked evenly on the pan, 2 inches apart, we put saran wrap on it very loosely, and you wait 20 minutes before you can refrigerate them. So the next step is you have to take a pot, the wider the better, and you want to fill it with water, and then you're going to want to turn the burner on and try to get the water to boil. And while we wait for the water to boil, you have to preheat the oven to 500 degrees. So the next step, you're going to want to take the bagels off of the pan, and then you're going to want to put them, as many as you can comfortably fit, in the pot. In there. And you're going to want to let them sit on one side for about a minute, and then flip them over to the other side for the following minute. So after they bake for about a minute, you're going to want to grab each of them and flip them over to the other side. So that one was the first one I put in, so it's not fully finished yet, but then we have this next one, and finally the third one that I put in here, and then we're going to wait for these ones to be done, and we're going to put in the next 3. So now we're going to take the final bagels out, so they're finally finished cooking. And after that, I'm going to take all of the boiled bagels and we're going to put them take the other tray bagels and they go on the bottom rack, and they'll stay in here for 5 minutes. And then I'm gonna rotate them 180 degrees, and I'm gonna switch the racks around. And that's it. So now you're gonna want to take them and put them on the drying rack or the cooling rack. As you can see, you gotta let them sit there for 15 minutes, and then they'll be ready to go. And I'll bring them in. And now we're done.